welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending some time here with me, especially while the world is a little bit crazy right now. I love the comments that you guys are putting on my below the subscribe button, and I love getting to know you and meeting you, and so I appreciate that. Keep those comments coming. Today, the movie I'm going to review is called Trolls World Tour. This movie is rated PG. It's an hour and 30 minutes, and the movie review mom grade I'm giving it is an A minus. I thought it was actually really cute. Let me give you a quick nutshell overview, and then I'll point out some things I liked and didn't like, as well as point out some tips for parents. So first of all, in a quick nutshell, it's David P. Smith's directorial debut. And in a world gone crazy with the coronavirus pandemic, maybe this lighthearted family film is just what we need. It's very musical. In fact, there is more singing in the movie, really, than talking. It's an extremely colorful sequel to the first Trolls movie. And if you liked the first Trolls movie, you'll get a kick out of the second one. If you haven't seen the first one, you'll probably still get a kick out of this one. Some tips for parents are, first of all, kids will be introduced to a variety of music styles, which is really kind of neat. One of the male trolls pops out a baby, which might prompt questions from your kids about how all that works. It's actually pretty funny, but it does make you wonder, wait, how did that work? There's a lot of pop culture references that some young kids won't quite understand, but they won't care. They'll just laugh and think it's funny anyway. You do see a fat troll's rear end, like the crack. So I'm just saying, it's meant to be funny, and your young kids will laugh. They'll think it's funny. Some kids may actually want to drink a cappuccino after they watch this movie because Queen Poppy gets really excited about drinking one, and they may want to know, well, what is a cappuccino? Can I have one? The only profanity that's uttered during the movie is actually said by a character named Delta Dawn, voiced by Kelly Clarkson. And she says, well, dangity doodly. So that's as harsh as it gets, which is great. Now, some themes in the movie are true love versus being in the friend zone. And you might have to explain that to your young kids. They may not quite understand what that's all about. There is some bullying going on and kind of cartoon violence. Intolerance is a very strong theme. And in fact, Queen Barb Rock is one of the characters, and she says, hating things takes a lot of energy because she's a hater and she's just exhausted. Which is true, and you should point that out to your kids. Queen Poppy says music is supposed to make you happy as she discovers different types of music and the emotions that are evoked with different types of music. So that would be a really fun conversation to have with your kids as well. Cooper also says you don't have to be just one thing. And I love that because the big message of the movie is we are different and that's okay. So many movies in the past have focused on we're all the same, we're all together, which is great. And that's true too. And yet there are differences. And so Cooper says it's okay. And you don't have to be just one thing. He could be hip hop and pop. You know what I mean? And so it's a really powerful message, and I really like that. Plus, I have a son whose name is Cooper. Another theme is listening to others rather than doing all of the talking. And another theme is that music comes from inside you, from your experiences and from your culture. And because all of those things are different for each one of us, of course, there would be a variety of music, and that it's really all good that you can find a place for your kind of music and still appreciate somebody else's kind of music. Other themes are said by the techno troll king, and he says family, music, love. That kind of summarizes the whole movie, really. Good connection in a variety of ways: physical connection, emotional connection, obviously social connection. All of those are addressed in the movie. And then King Funk says denying our differences is denying the truth of who we are. And that's a powerful message, really, again, the theme of the entire movie. And then Branch, voiced by Justin Timberlake, says differences do matter. Those are all really great lessons for our kids and certainly worth longer conversations with your kids. Now, some things that I really liked about the movie are first, the talented actors and musicians that make up the cast of this movie include award winners and big names such as Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake, James Corden, Ozzy Osbourne, Rachel Bloom, Mary J. Blige, Kelly Clarkson, Gwen Stefani, Sam Rockwell, George Clinton, and Kenan Thompson. Great variety, right? And of course, I should mention that the McElroy brothers are also in it. I don't know how to pronounce their name correctly. McElroy. Anyway, they actually started a podcast entitled The McElroy Brothers Will Be in Trolls Too, just so that they could get cast in the film. Pretty clever. I may actually have to start doing that. Now, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Rachel Bloom, who is so talented, and I'm so thrilled that she voices and sings in a starring role in this movie. She was really great in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the TV show, and I had never seen her before, and I was like, wow, she's really talented and really good. So I love that she's now branching out into films, and I want to give you a quick heads up though. If you haven't seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and you're an adult, you'll probably get a kick out of it. But there's a lot of adult content, so it's really inappropriate for kids, unfortunately. Even though there are some really fun musical numbers, there are also some inappropriate musical numbers. There is some really cute animation with adorable facial expressions on these trolls. They did a really good job with that. Tons of physical humor, and there's this section about smooth jazz, as they're introducing different types of music. Anyway, there's this one section about smooth jazz, and I just thought it was hilarious, and it was so cute that they added that to a kids movie, because kids probably are not going to be familiar with smooth jazz, but they're going to laugh at this particular character. And while Oreo cookies are generally really bad for you, I think it's awesome that they've created a glittery new Oreos cookie in honor of this Trolls movie. I'm sure it has tons of food color and chemicals in it, but it actually looks really cute and glittery. Now, some things that I didn't like. Sometimes you can't quite understand what the trolls are saying because they have lots of little funny voices, and because several people are often saying things at the same time, or they happen so quickly and you're like, wait, what'd they say? Not a big deal. And kids aren't really paying attention to the great script of the movie. They're looking at the funny images mostly, and there are plenty of those. Now, if you have not seen the first Trolls movie, you won't necessarily know what's going on or know how the whole troll world works. There's an exposition scene at the very beginning of the movie, kind of to catch you up. It doesn't give you all of the details. And so throughout the movie, there are several more exposition scenes to explain what happened in the past, what's happening now, and how all of this is working, because they need to do that to make the story make sense. And one thing that they never really mention that is a big part of the story in the first movie is that Poppy and Branch wear these little wrist watches, and every time an alarm goes off, it's reminding them that they need to hug. And so there are a few moments where an alarm goes off, but then there's no hugging, and it's meant to be funny for the people who understand that. And if you haven't seen the first movie, you'll be going, what's up with the watches? Most of the movie feels pretty loud and frenzied and chaotic. And as I mentioned, there's more singing than talking, as opposed to the first movie where there was a lot of talking and then people would break out into songs. But in this movie, it's almost all songs with a few breaks for speaking. Some people may not like that. Some people will enjoy that more because it just feels like a fun musical time. But if you're looking for a big dialogue heavy movie, this is definitely not it. And as a rock lover, it bothers me that the rock trolls are the bad guys. That's not a spoiler. You definitely see that in the trailer. But there's more to the story. So of course you have to see the movie to understand all that. Okay, so again, thank you for spending time with me. Be sure and check out my website, moviereviewmom.com. That's where I include tips for other movies that you might like if you liked this one, as well as some funny lines or interesting lines. And just to wrap up, I'll share a couple more with you. Again, Anna Kendrick plays Queen Poppy, and she says, music should bring us together, not divide us. And as they're talking about unity, Queen Poppy says, if we all look the same and act the same, that's not harmony. And so I love that aspect as they're teaching children that to have harmony in music, you don't have everyone singing the same note at the same time, but you have them sing complementary notes. I mean, I'm not a music genius or anything, but harmony is that blending of sounds that can go together and complement each other rather than everybody singing the exact same thing, right? So I love that that's a lesson that's definitely blended into the movie as well. All right, that's it for today. I hope you're safe and happy, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.